भूलो जावे रे मन तू भूलो जावे रे थारा सदगुरु रे समझावे रस्ते आवे क्या नहीं रे थारा दिल गुरु रे समझावे रस्ते आवे क्या नहीं रे।
This happened in Pennsylvania. Are there people from Pennsylvania? Tina? So this happened in 1900s. Pennsylvania is known for its floods. It has innumerable water bodies, so it floods. So one more flood happened, a major flood. So a newspaper reporter ran there to report the news, to see it firsthand. So he started there and started sending out a message through the old way, not email, the old way of tapping out a message. And he was in a little poetic mood. So he said, on this day, God sat upon the mountain and watched the valleys fill up with water, human life being sucked in, and the whole towns being submerged and all this stuff. He sent it to his editor. Immediately a message came back from his editor, forget the flood, interview God. See, teaching is like that. It's just a noise that you make so that you take the call. These things are not coming because of the great quality of music that's coming out of the cell phone. This is just for you to remind you that you must take the call. So teaching is just that, just to remind you, you must take the call. The noises are being made to remind you that you must take the call. Because truth cannot be taught. If you teach the truth, if somebody believes that they are teaching truth, that's one big lie. How can you do it? Because when we say truth, we are talking about that which is the basis of everything, that which contains everything. What is partial is a lie. Only that which is total, only that which is absolute can be true. Rest is a lie, maybe different states of reality, but it's a lie. Though when you sleep and you dream, even in your experience, even though it may be so that your dream state was so powerful, at that moment everything was real. The moment you wake up, you say, I had a dream. You're admitting that was not the truth. Even though the experience was so powerful, still you call it a dream. So, we call something truth only if it is complete. In any way, if it is partial, we say, this is not it. So that which is absolute, how can it be taught? You can speak and teach only through language. Not necessarily through spoken language, maybe sign language, but still language. A language, the basis of language itself is duality between sound and silence. So right now, there are any number of people here who do not understand English language, but the best part is, they are sitting as alert and as still as people who understand English, because they know better. They know what Sadhguru has to offer is not in his words. Those who clap are not those people. They understand the language. So when we say truth, we are not talking about an ideology, we are not talking about a philosophy, we are not talking about a scripture. We are talking about that which is the basis of our existence. We are talking about that which is the source of who we are right now. Even if you have a powerful emotion within you, you become speechless. Even that language seems insufficient. If you have a tender feeling towards somebody, suddenly language becomes insufficient. You would like to touch them and somehow convey to them. You believe that they will understand. They don't, but you believe. They don't have such hopes. People don't. So, how to transmit that which is the basis of your existence? How to teach the basis of your existence? It can be transmitted. Any number of times I've been saying this. I'm trying to change my terminology now for sexist reasons. I've been saying, I'm laying eggs all over the place. Someday they will hatch somewhere. Lots of them, all over the place. When the situation becomes right, they will hatch. Recently somebody reminded me that this egg business is a very female thing. So I said, okay, from now on I'll say, I'm releasing a lot of spores. When the right kind of situation happens, they will sprout. Just a small sexist change. But it means the same thing. So, yesterday they asked me, we need some message for the Guru Purnima. So I just wrote one more bad poem because with great care I remained uneducated, so I can only write bad poems. It takes much more effort to remain uneducated in this world than to become educated, do you know this? Because to live in this world, to function in this world, and still not to learn anything from anybody around you is not a small feat. to remain uncivilized, uncultured, uninfluenced by anything around you is a much bigger feat than getting educated, cultured and civilized. Generally, people who manage that could never be active and effective in the world that they live in. That is why most of the mystics withdrew, because if you can become cultured or civilized, you cannot be a mystic. Civilization means the circumstances in which you are living has deeply influenced you and molded you in a certain way. So, refusing to be influenced, refusing to be molded by situations around you, perceiving everything directly, not allowing your scriptures, your culture, your teachers, your parents, and everybody else who is very eager to civilize you all the time. Takes a lot of conscious effort. So because of that, I write bad poetry. Please bear with me. This is titled as Guru Parnami. In search of truth, I did the sublime and the weird. In search of truth, I did the sublime and the weird. The blessed Guru arrived and had my knowledge routed. The blessed Guru arrived and had my knowledge routed. With his staff, touched the spot sacred, left me with this madness infected. With his staff, touched the spot sacred, left me with this madness infected. This madness without cure, but it is liberation for sure. This madness without cure, but it is liberation for sure. When I saw even horrific disease can transmit with ease, when I saw even horrific disease can transmit with ease, I took the liberty of maddening humanity. I took the liberty of maddening humanity. If you can't teach madness to people. They have to be infected. Infection is always a transmission, isn't it? Yes. It's not easy to get it. When you're in school, you would have tried. When you're in school, today you don't want to go to school, you want to catch diphtheria for a day. It doesn't come, you know. Have you tried? You want to at least catch a flu, the damn thing doesn't come. No, it's not easy. You have to be ripe and the right kind of things have to come your way, only then it happens. Even a disease, when you want it, you don't get it. Yes, sir? Have you tried? Didn't you try? You don't get it so easy. Everybody gets it, you don't get it. So this is also just like that. Because you want it, you don't get it. You have to make yourself vulnerable, receptive. The spores are all over the place. If you're vulnerable, you'll get it, it'll catch you. So we have spread sufficient spores all over the place. Those who are vulnerable will anyway catch it. It doesn't matter whether they came to the program or not. Program is just about making you vulnerable. The teaching is just about making you vulnerable. That is why we can train teachers to do it, because their work is just to make somebody vulnerable. They themselves are not doing anything, but they are very important because they are like the cell phone ringing. They are like the door knocking, because if it doesn't ring, who'll take the call? Your phone is on silent, I'm calling you and calling you and calling you, all missed calls. It takes somebody to make some noise. It takes somebody to make some noise, otherwise it'll all be one big missed call. Life will remain a missed call. So teachers are very important. Without the noise of teaching, there will be no transmission. It would be wrong to say no transmission, there will be, but it'll become very minimal. Very minimal. Only with the teaching, the vulnerability has increased, and because of that, more sports are being made use of. I want you to understand this simple thing that's happened to you even physically. Then one little cell, one little sperm found itself to the right place. And see how much life has happened. If it had not gotten into the right womb, if it had fallen somewhere, this wouldn't have happened. All this, a very sophisticated mechanism has happened, isn't it? Out of that one little sperm. It is just that it has to enter the right place, then it happens, otherwise it won't happen. This is just like that, on a different sphere, on a different dimension, but still the same. Nobody can talk you into pregnancy, fortunately, isn't it? Such a thing has never happened.